Welcome back to the Miami Heat Roundtable. My name is Amir. Really excited about today's episode because we have a very special guest joining us. We have Caleb Daniels from the Miami Heat and Skyforce. Thank you for joining us today. We're excited to chat.
Excited to be here, man. Thank y'all for having me.
No problem. So before we do get started, just wanted to say congratulations on winning the Summer League championship with the Miami Heat. That must have felt really good.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man. There's a lot of hard work being put into it throughout the summer, so it's a pretty good feeling to win it.
I'm sure. So my first question for you, Caleb, is how would you compare Villanova's culture to the Miami Heat's culture? We see the impact that Nova is having on the NBA with what we like to call the Villanova Knicks, but
Yeah,
how similar is the Miami Heat culture to that Villanova culture?
man, that's a really good question. Um, Honestly, I'm gonna first start off by saying the foundation for both the Heat and Villanova is playing hard. Like that's the bottom of the line, the foundation that they set as soon as you step foot into the building, into their program. Um, I'll say they're very different in like more values and how we like value the game and how we look at the game. But I would say they have a lot of values that are different from most teams in the NBA, and obviously most teams that are in college. So I think for me, being raised in Villanova culture definitely pushed me to my maximum limit, my ability. And obviously coming into Miami, I kind of knew what to expect. It's kind of a graduated Villanova culture, pretty much for me. So I think being in Miami my first 2 years now, I think it's honestly a blessing because I've seen it before with Villanova culture. So for me, it's pretty fun and it's a lot to learn. It's a lot to go through, but I'm just excited. I'm blessed to be a part of it.
What's going on, Caleb? Once again, thank you for coming on. My name is Trent, and I kind of got a two-parter for you. And so,
So
you know, you said you obviously play for Villanova. Can't even say it. But what was the feeling of you going undrafted, in 2023, of course? And like, I know when I play ball myself, but obviously you kind of made it and played with the Heat and stuff like that. But like, what was the feeling like? Did you have any doubt that he was like, maybe I'm not going to make it, maybe this, because I know it gets tough, but a lot of these players that go undrafted turn out to be very, very good. And there's a
sure.
lot that you can name in the NBA right now. But like, what was that kind of like? What was that feeling? And and then I'll ask the second question. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to know like, what was the feeling of that when that happened?
To be honest, I always kind of knew I was gonna go undrafted. I kind of preferred that route more than going drafted. Um, I think that I've always had something to prove with how I play, who I play with. So I kind of knew going into the draft process that that was going to be that realistic field that I was going to be in. But honestly, every day I'm appreciative for the opportunities because most guys they don't have that opportunity to be with a team, to know where they're going, what their next move is, and Miami just always staying in close contact with me, just making sure that I'm good, making sure that they're checking in on me, and also just really proving myself every single day why I belong and why I deserve to be in the NBA. I think that's my main goal every single day is how can I beat, you know, the day before, how can I be better the next day? So I think Miami they take root in that, they take notice of it, and I'm just happy to be here, honestly. But it's more than that. I got to continue to grow, continue to get better, and that's my mental coming into this season.
So I love to hear that, man, and obviously we all rooting for you and stuff like that. So when it comes into the summer league and it comes into the G League and stuff like that, at the end of the day, you grow a relationship with your teammates, you grow a relationship with your coaches and stuff like that. But I do feel like they're at the end of the day, y'all guys are competing to make a roster or competing against each other, and that's just kind of how life is, with jobs, basketball, and so like, how do you kind of balance that with, these are my dogs. It seems like y'all very close. Maybe you have some group chats together. Like how do you go from I want to like be better, not be better than you, but just kind of like compete against each other, but also make it like a healthy relationship? Like, how do you kind of balance that? Because I know this is real life. There's some people that got hate for each other. There's some people that love each other. But like, how do you kind of
Right.
balance all that stuff right now?
For me, I look at it as God is leading me. God is leading my steps. He's leading the way for me. So I kind of let my spirituality balance out everything. Um, Obviously, it kind of seeps into your mind as an athlete, as a competitor. Like, where is the room for me? Where is the spot for me? How am I better than the next guy? But every day, I just be myself. Honestly, I'm confident in who I am as a hooper, as a player, what I bring to the table. So for me, I try not to worry about the guy that's next to me. I worry about how can I put myself in the best predicament, to be looked at or to grow, to be developed. And that's what makes it kind of easy going for me. I try to keep it as simple as possible. I don't kind of think outside that realm, although it is what it is. But I just try to be myself and focus on how can I get better, how can I be the best that I can be.
So, Caleb, what is your advice to guys that are also trying to make the NBA? Because we always talk how the grind is really tough, but like especially going through high school, then college, and G League. Can you explain like what is the everyday grind like, and like how can these young guys that aspire to be where you're at, what's your advice to them?
I'll use the same advice that I give to everyone. Man, it's a marathon. Don't get too high on the beginning part of it because you still got a lot to prove day in and day out. Don't get too low when you're not playing at the way you want to play because there's so many opportunities within a season, unlimited opportunities. So I would say just keep running the marathon, keep running your own race. Don't look into the next person's garden because that's when you can overlook your blessings and what's in front of you. And I think I kind of struggled with that my first year a little bit. But then once I got back on track, I was good. So I would just say run your own marathon, continue to put the work in, and do what you're called to do. I think a lot of guys get that misconstrued. They try to show too much and look crazy, or they try to show too much and they look really good, and now they got to try to keep up with that image every single day. So I would say just keep it simple, know your role, and run your marathon.
Now, what was it like playing with KEL'EL Ware? Because the Miami Heat, they've kind of lacked size and athleticism and rebounding. I mean, you listen, Bam Adebayo is great. He's our Olympian, he's our All-Star. But especially with KEL'EL Ware, a 7-footer, who can block everything moving. He's a great rebounder. He can shoot the three a little bit. So, what was it like playing with KEL'EL Ware?
Man, that boy is like Slender Man out there, I swear. He can do everything offensively, defensively. He makes the game easy, bro. He made a lot of the plays out there easy for us all to like go out there and play with him. So it's like when you got a guy like that backing you, it's like you could mess up a coverage. He's going to cover for you by blocking a shot, by making a play, contesting at the rim, rebounding. So I think it's fun playing with KEL'EL, honestly. Offensively in the paint, he's a dog, bro. He's a monster. Finishing everything, dunking everything. And he can shoot the three a little bit, shoot a little mid-range. I think this summer league, he's shown a lot of what he can really do and how he can play potentially alongside Bam. So I think it was honestly fun playing with KEL'EL. And he's an even better person off the court. So having him as a guy that I just met, it felt like I've known him forever. And also just making it so easy to play with him out there on the court. He's an all-around guy.
That's awesome. So Caleb, who are some of your favorite players growing up? And is there also any like specific player or players that you modeled your game around and influenced your style of play?
So growing up, I think my first favorite player would be LeBron James, of course. I think he's the GOAT, greatest of all time. I think my second guy that I would say I started really liking was Damian Lillard. Just the way he can shoot the ball, his confidence. He's like a video game out there. And I think realistically, guys that I don't want to say I model my game after because my game is kind of everywhere. Like I can play the 1 to the 4, even though I'm only 6'3", 6'4". But I would say I am a guy that's kind of a nasty guy out there. I'm pretty sure y'all seen the summer league games. I don't play the prettiest brand of basketball. I'm not getting all the buckets. I'm doing all the dirty work. I'm getting all the stops. Occasionally making an open shot here and there, making the right play. So I would say some guys that I look at the most that fall into that category would be a Drew Holiday, a Marcus Smart, a Lou Dort, Derek White, Haywood Highsmith, Caleb Martin. I think guys like that are guys that I kind of look at a lot, and Alex Caruso as well. Those guys are like guys I look at a lot that I would consider to be, my tier.
So I love how you bring that up because a lot of people, that want to take that next step think it's all
Oh,
Looks like we lost him. Martel, you're on mute. Go ahead if you want to hop in.
Gotcha, no problem. So Caleb, like, what does the future hold for you right now going forward?
what do you mean by that?
Like in terms of, like, are you going to stick with the Miami Heat Skyforce, or like, maybe you want to, check out another team, like what's like your next step going forward?
Well, for this year, I'm definitely looking forward to staying with the Skyforce Miami Heat, and I'm really just building my resume from there and just really getting closer with the guys again this year. I think this is a great opportunity to take another step forward and to really become more comfortable in Miami Heat system. So I'm excited for that, honestly.
Is there any specific players on the Skyforce that you enjoy playing with the most, or just have the most chemistry with on the court?
Um, would this date back all the way to G League last season or just
Yeah. Or even G League, Summer
Man,
League, just in general. Like, who are some of the best teammates in terms of like chemistry wise, like that brings the best out of you?
I'm gonna go G League last year first. We had a damn good talented team last year. I thought we could have won it if we kept our same team despite all the call ups.
Yep.
But I would say, guys, definitely Man for sure. He's one of them. I've been playing with him since last summer league. So, Man, Bouye, Justin Champagny, Malik Williams. He plays incredibly hard, bro. He's able to space the floor. Um, who else? Drew Peterson before he got on the two-way with the Celtics. He makes the game fun with his playmaking, the way he shoots the ball, spaces the floor. Honestly, that whole team was like, there's too many guys. Josh Christopher, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it's more like you ever been to hibachi, right? Like you see they cook the food in front of you.
Yep.
That's what it's like being on the court with Josh. Like when he start cooking and you on the court with him, it's like, bro, you can't beat that, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And he played the right way too. So it's like I say those guys for G League for sure. And there's other names that I didn't mention that that I had fun playing with as well. But for summer league, I see that's another talented team and then we won the chip. So it's like I'll go top three guys. I'll say Isaiah Stevens for one. Y'all know why. The way he shared the ball, the way he scores the ball, plays unselfishly, play the right way every time. Man, I love playing with Isaiah. I'm excited for what's to come this season with him. Obviously, I know KEL'EL WARE. I boast and brag about him in the past a little bit. And y'all know Josh and Man already. I would say a third would possibly be Pellet, my guy Larson, P Liddy. It's kind of a tie between him and Kashad because they
I was
both
about to
bring
say, what
that.
about Kashad Johnson? Because he's jumping out the gym.
Man,
He's a great
Kashad, he jumps
defender.
out the gym. He can guard. He talks trash. I love it, honestly, because that's me. But he's dunking everything. And when we both out there, it's like we getting stops. We locking up. It's fun. And when Pella's out there, too, it's like he's bringing that energy, picking up full court, knocking threes down, talking trash in his Sweden accent. Like, it's funny, but it's fun. So I'll say those are my top 3-4 guys for our summer league team.
Yeah, sorry about that. Something happened. But anyways, I'm not sure if you guys asked this question, but my last question for you, Caleb, would be like, so what's kind of like, I know a lot of people ask me this question, but like, what's kind of your next step? Like, what do you want to do next? Like, what's your next step and kind of what's your end goal,
Martel
when it
already
comes to
asked
this
that.
stuff?
Martel already asked, but all good. That's why we're all
Oh,
laughing.
you did?
Yeah, right when
Yeah.
you froze, he knew what you're gonna ask for some reason and asked it directly. So
Oh, I got you. Cool. Yeah,
So
iPhone, the thing got too hot.
I understand, man. You in that Miami Heat. I get it.
Yeah. So
I do have a question for you, Caleb. So you mentioned like in college, you were more of that scoring threat. And you said you're going to do whatever it takes. Obviously, when you're on the Skyforce, or obviously with the Heat in the summer league, you're going to play a specific role. And I've heard you on different podcasts mentioning like I want to focus on rebounding, playing defense first. Right, the offense will come later. And you mentioned you can get 20 points per game if you have to, if you need to.
Yeah.
But what areas do you plan on improving this upcoming season with the Skyforce? Is it more of the offensive stuff, like the three, like finishing more at the rim, like, or is it defensive? Like I'm sure you're working on everything, but like, what are you planning on working on this summer before the season starts?
I think number one thing is my shooting. I think I can shoot the ball really well, but I need to be more consistent and more, relied upon for shooting. I think I can do everything else, like get to the rim strong, finish through contact, make the right play. I think that last piece that can really solidify me is being able to shoot the ball at a high level. And I want to say my first year in the G League, I shot the ball really well. In the G League Showcase Cup season, I shot 42.6% from three, which is really solid. And going into the regular season, I kind of took a little dip in my percentages, but I still ended up finishing shooting, I think, 35 or 36 from three, which is also respectable and solid. But kind of want to get that up and be more consistent from the three. And obviously, I'm still sharpening everything else that I need to sharpen.
yeah, I seen that. You took about like 5 threes a game, around that 34.35. So that's like you said, it's workable. So I think that's really really good. I think you had a very solid season, averaging 13 points a game, about 5 rebounds and 2 assists. So like again, man, we wish you the best. We appreciate you for hopping on and all that stuff. And Amir, Martel, anything else to say?
Yeah, do you want to let the audience know, all Miami Heat fans that typically follow us, where they can find your socials? I know you have a Twitter and Instagram, but if you want to share that real quick, we'll link it too as well in the description of the video.
For sure. Twitter, y'all can find. Oh, I'm sorry. X, y'all can find me. C_CD21, and on Instagram you can find me Caleb C Daniels.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Martel. Any last words for you?
Like, share, comment, subscribe, and thank you for all the support.